Former President Donald Trump remains a strong favorite in the polls, but we know the polls don't always determine the winner. Nikki Haley is riding a surge of support, hoping that can carry her out of second place. Ron DeSantis struggling to woo Iowa voters, and Vivek Ramaswamy almost seeming to drop off the radar, but not yet giving up the fight. Scripps News political correspondent Forrest Saunders has been covering former President Trump on this last full day of campaigning. Good evening, Forrest.
Hey, good evening, Alexa. Let me tell you, the Trump campaign is doing about everything possible to ensure that it has a strong turnout on Monday night. And that is, of course, because the weather could play a factor in all of this. So the campaign is going to be actually enlisting drivers with four-wheel drive vehicles to ensure that they can get as many caucus goers to those precincts, more than 1,600 of them across this state, to those precincts at the scheduled time to cast their ballots for Donald Trump. But, of course, we'll have to wait and see what Mother Nature has to say about all that. Donald Trump was back on the campaign trail Monday, making up for lost time after inches of snow, wind, and life-threatening temps threatened to further derail his major frontrunner status.
If this is any indication, the storm has had zero effect.
His speech inside this packed Indianola venue was typical Trump. 2020 election fraud allegations, digs on his opponents, plus new endorsements, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. And online, Florida's U.S. Senator Marco Rubio. But the main message to Iowans, turn out Monday.
Brave the weather and go out and save America, because that's what you're doing. This is really about saving our country. Remember, your caucus location is often different from where you normally vote.
With those deadly temps expected, poor turnout concerns are not unfounded. Some potential supporters told us they don't want to deal with it. But you're worried about the weather.
I am worried about the weather. It's cold. It's negative 30 degrees outside, it feels like. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to the caucus. We'll just see with my schedule.
Others said they'd be there, despite still being undecided on who to support.
I'll get in my car. I'll just get there extra early. I'll bundle up. We've had winters like this, cold days like this before, and I will do it.
Diehard Trump supporter Daryl Nerness wasn't too concerned. He backed the former president in 2016 and 2020 and said this year feels different.
I just think it's the people on the ground. It's a lot more organized than it was in 2016, even 2020. And I know in my polling precinct or my caucus site that I know a lot of people that'll come out regardless of the weather.
It's now up to Iowans to decide their next GOP nominee, but will it be Mother Nature who ends up upsetting this race? Okay, so let's talk about the weather really quick. What is the temperature going to be around 7 p.m. when the caucuses begin on Monday night? -12. That is enough to be life-threatening. Alexa?
Scripps News political correspondent Forrest Saunders live for us in Des Moines tonight. Thank you, and go inside and get warm.